people overlook that, how impactful this content is. And like you said, you don't need a Kardashian. You just need a good content creator.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't matter. So we had like really great content creators with 500,000 followers. They didn't convert any better at all.
On today's episode of eCommentary, we are joined by serial entrepreneur Jesper Brok. Jesper is the man leading his latest venture, Tjommi, to accelerated growth using some very, very interesting TikTok marketing tactics. We're going to go into all things founder mindset, how to grow a company, and also how to really be effective when growing a new company using the latest marketing tools. This is a great episode if you're looking to learn about scaling and scaling fast, but also getting an insight into what investors are actually looking for. Welcome to eCommentary. We are joined by Jesper Brok, investor, CMO of Tjommi, and serial founder of businesses. Jesper, thank you so much for coming on to the show.
Thank you. Very nice intro.
And I think it was so cool that it's gone from a LinkedIn post this morning. You're in Aarhus for the day, and we've managed to arrange a podcast where I'm going to learn as much as possible about founding companies, marketing companies, and especially interested to dive into Tjommi a little bit later in the show. I think as a starting point, I tried to prep for the interview as best as I could. I started to write down all of the businesses that you're either invested in or involved in. And then, I'm not going to lie, I gave up and thought, do you know what? It's going to be far, far easier just to ask you about your entrepreneurial journey. So take me back. How did you begin as an entrepreneur?
It actually goes way back. I was the guy in the gymnasium who was doing the arranging of the yearly skiing trip, all that. So this, creating stuff, doing stuff, taking lead on it, especially if it was funny at that time and involved alcohol, right?
Yeah.
And then from that on, I'm the type of guy, I didn't really get what you would call a proper education. I don't own a master's degree or even a bachelor, actually. So I started working at a small takeaway company. At that time, I was the first full-time employee. One of my co-workers there, later on, we started a thing where we went down to Nyhavn and we bought our Christiania bike and we filled it up with ice cold water and chips. And then we stood right where the Netto boats came up, and everybody has been on a boat for 1.5 hours or something like that. And they were super thirsty and hungry. And then we actually sold out like 4 times a day. So I was the guy standing with the umbrella selling. And then my partner Rune drove back and forth from our lair in his basement in his apartment building, getting new supplies. That was a really good business, actually. We actually earned a lot of money on it. But then the year after, we had big plans. But we were not the only one who thought that was a great idea. And people really pimped up their bikes. So we actually gave up before even starting. I worked with this takeaway company. It was quite small at the time. But I really got my hands dirty into everything, basically. So I was sales manager, customer service manager, marketing manager, I have all these different hats along with the 2 founders. So every time there was something I need to do, and they were like looking at me, can you look into that, Jesper? We don't know how to do it. We never tried Facebook or something like that. I'm like, yeah, sure, I can look into that. So there's a lot of learning by doing.
Do you think that that's a skill that comes because you haven't necessarily had a formal secondary, like higher education, that you actually develop a different set of skills, which is figuring stuff out?
Yeah, I'm always been better at learning by doing than reading, which is quite fun because both my parents are teachers. But I think it was also like a thing I had to do to them, against them. Just looking at something and it's more measurable, or at least I can see the output of what I'm doing, and I'm not sitting and reading this because then I know what the fuck algebra is or something mathematic, right?
Yeah.
so far away of how I like to work and do stuff. So yeah, I think it has a lot to do with that. But yeah, this company actually grew a lot. And when I stopped, I think we had, I don't know, 15 employees and 100 part-time drivers and 30 cars live in several countries. And then I actually did my own takeaway company because what we saw that all the deal sites were popping up, so downtown, Groupon, whatever, right? And all these takeaway companies were emerging super fast. And what they had in common that everybody bought sushi. So I did sushiClub.dk along with 2 other guys, and we actually got, I don't know, can't even remember, it's 12 years ago, right? I think we got around 25, 30K users in the first year. And we did it by hacking the system.
Okay.
So the thing about we combined takeaway with deal sites. So when people bought these deals, the main problem was that you had to print it and then you had to show up in your local sushi store or whatever sushi store was, right? And then you said, hey, I need the sushi in 20 minutes. Super annoying for the shop because they didn't know how much groceries and fish they had to buy in for that specific day, all that. And then we made Sushi Club, and we told I knew all the sushi restaurants from my previous job, right? So we told them, hey, you can sign up at Sushi Club, and then you can put in your code in Sushi Club DK, and then they can order online. So it just actually drew the deal in the basket and then check out. But then they could also turn on, I want it delivered. I want extra cola. I want extra of that. And they actually made upsell on that. So that was pretty clever. And then we got all the users for free because we told the sushi restaurant that when they made this deal with the Groupon or whatever, they had to put it in their contract that they want this buying to be handled by Sushi Club. Otherwise, they couldn't do it. And that actually forced the Groupon and Downtown, whatever, to integrate it. So that went pretty fast, but we only charged like, I don't know, 10%. So business model wise, we're not quite there yet, but it was super fun though.
Yeah, but innovation.
Yeah. We got a lot of users, and that was pretty fun. And while we're doing that, and maybe also looking into it, could be nice having a pay again sometime soon. That's how we pay bills, right? And then I was headhunted by a company. It's called Rocket Internet. And for those of you that don't know Rocket Internet, they are founder of eBay Europe, Zalando, HelloFresh, Delivery Hero, Fedora, you name it. I think they have 400 ventures, a lot of them unicorns. So I was hired to build a company called Fedora, and did that for a while. Great learning, even though they were so big, and we were funded 100 mil euro from Goldman Sachs and stuff. It was amazing. A lot of work and traveling. I decided to end it there to start my own again. Then I founded a company called Happy Helper, which actually came from me traveling a lot. And I had cleaning at home because when I was finally home Saturday, Sunday, and flying out again, usually Sunday night to be at some office in Europe Monday morning, I had help at home. So I booked a cleaning, and every cleaning was on the unregulated market. So it's the black economy, right? And every time I needed a new cleaning lady, I did the thing I think most people still do, post it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, anybody know somebody? And then usually got the number to the one your friend uses or your neighbor or something like that, right? So we actually just turn all that online. Today, it's actually a listed company, and I'm still acting CMO. And then I helped co-found a new company called Tjommi, which I think we'll come back to later on, right? But as I can't sit still and I need to evolve and try new stuff, I also invested in a few companies now. So I have have a fitness center in Skagen, which also is a parent company to two apps that drives football exercises and handball exercises for now, at least. So how you can train yourself not to get more injuries, and how to jump higher, get more agility, all stuff like that. And then I have an investment in, it's not the UK, in Ireland, which connects developers with big brands. Then I have a investment in something called Hilber, which is a psychology matching platform that's matching on all kind of stuff, which is super smart. They're doing extremely well now. They're matching a few thousand clients a month now. So really, really good.
I'd love to dive into a couple of things with this entrepreneurship, because most people start one company and they maybe have a second. Like, for you, is it the journey that's the most exciting part? What is it that keeps you going into different businesses, investing, starting new businesses? What is it that's driving that?
It's definitely a journey. I really enjoy that, good and bad. But this excitement you have in the beginning, the fire in people's eyes, that's also something I look at when I invest. That's most appealing to me. I really enjoy that. And I'm especially good in the beginning and the starting phase, pointing in the right direction, use my network, help them raise more funds. So that start, I go in early and then I help them mature. And that phase is just so much fun. I really enjoy that.
Yeah, it's like that blank canvas in the early days that you start to have a concept and an idea that this is where I think it should go. And there's a period where you commit to it and it doesn't happen. And then certain things start to look like they're happening, and then things start to happen. And that's the part that's like, it's almost the phase before that starts to snowball. That's the best phase, where it's like, I think we're doing the right thing. You have those crisis moments with yourself.
Yeah. A lot of people moments where you also rethink the business model. Are we doing the right thing? Are the metrics good enough? How is the customer loyalty? All that. You can really work on that in the beginning on a more flexible level than if you have grown big and now I have 50 employees or whatever.
Are businesses more fun before they have investors?
It's where the real hard work begins, I tend to say. I don't think it's more fun. I don't look at it like that, because this is also where you can start experimenting with marketing, which I'm quite fond of. You have more resources for that, of course. So I would actually say it's the opposite, for me at least. That's after the funding and going at it and hiring. That's a super exciting period of the journey.
As an investor, now we've established that maybe your plate is pretty full.
Yeah, for now.
At the moment. But we have a lot of businesses listening to the show that are dreaming of, achieving investment one day. As someone who's seen both sides of it, what is it that you look for in a business?
It has to be scalable. It needs a scalable product, meaning that you don't need to hire a new person every time you get a new customer. So look at the scalability, and not national scalability, but international scalability. And then the rest of it actually is the team. And of course, I like products where they actually solve like an everyday pain, something people can relate to, which is also why I personally look most at consumer businesses. Not that B2B isn't great and all that, but I just work more on that. So founders and the team, and really see that fire in the founder's eyes, knowing that this is a pain that he really tried first hand and he wants to solve this. I really look into that, and I spend a lot of time with the founders before also. One of my investments actually had office space with me for 2 months. So I had like an everyday with them. I get to know the rhythm and their dynamics, how they're working, what they were good at, what they were not good at, and how to focus their time. But yeah, scalability is for me like super crucial. So you don't want to market yourself at a niche product. Can be a good thing, of course, but have a big audience also.
So that when going back to that snowball analogy, when it starts to turn, it doesn't hit the end of the...
Yeah, and look into network effects. There's a lot of different parameters, of course. So not just the one thing. And I can also go outside that. But yeah. tend not to.
Just going back to something that you said about that the founder has experienced good and bad along the journey. Like, how important is that?
If you look at funding, second-time founders are way ahead. And you don't have to have sold your company for 2 billion or whatever. Going rogue with a company is just as good. Just mean if you're a second-time founder, you made a lot of mistakes. You don't do that again. And if you look to Silicon Valley, that is also what a lot of the big VCs are looking for, is second-time founders. So yeah, that's a super plus, of course, but valuation-wise also tend to be a bit higher.
Yeah.
Because they, of course, tried it before, right? From my own experience, the last couple of rounds that I did was also a lot easier than the first ones. And not because I had some success or whatever, but because I tried it before. So I also understood the dynamics with the investor, what they were looking for. And I tested it on some investors that I probably wouldn't have taken anyway, but just to get their feedback. And then I know what the other guys would be asking about. And then I had a great answer, or I presented it in the beginning.
Yeah, so it's like doing consumer research, but with investors.
Yeah, but funding is not another podcast, I think.
Yeah, that's definitely another avenue to go into, but the dangers of funding and also the joys of funding.
Yeah.
I think another area. So when you come into these brands, so we've made the decision, the brand's got scale. Then you have to figure out, how do you achieve the scale?
Yeah.
How do you market the brand? And I think that I would love to start to dig into a brand that I actually really love how creative you are with the marketing, and that's Tjommi. So for those that maybe aren't aware, could you give us a little run through on
I can pitch it.
Yeah, pitch it to me. I don't have the money, but you can pitch it to me.
But you know the feeling of buying something,
yeah,
and see it on a sale the week after or 2 weeks after. That's the most annoying feeling in the whole world. Either you're too lazy to do anything about it, otherwise it's an awkward situation where you have to write an email to the store or show up personally in Elgiganten or Power or wherever you bought. So we actually solved that. So we did an app where you connect, you sign up and you connect your email or mails. Then we fetch your receipts as you buy them. Then we scan I think we scan around 3,500, 4,000 websites a day. So we search on that unique product ID. If we find it cheaper elsewhere, we write on your behalf to, let's say you bought a television in Elgiganten. So then we write, hey, my name is Andy. I bought this television. I just saw it on a sale with Power. You have price match guarantee. So I would like my money back. Find attached my receipt and screenshot from Power. So we actually write that email on your behalf to Elgiganten and reclaim your money. So you can think AirHelp or Flyhjælp just on basically everything you buy online. And also in the store, because you can also scan your physical receipt into the app. I think that was basically it. So it's super simple product, right?
Yeah, I guess people listening are going to ask, what's the catch? Like,
what's the price?
Have to pay? Yeah.
No, we charge a finder's fee on 25%. So if you get 500 crowns back, we keep the 100, right?
I mean, that's a pretty good model for everybody involved. We spoke a little bit before about when we return things and not being good, because if something takes us 20 minutes to drive back to get to get a 20, 30 pounds or 500 krona return.
Yeah, I'm too lazy to do that. And I don't have the time either. I have 2 kids. I'm not going to spend 1 hour driving to Elgiganten for a few hundred crowns.
And the user doesn't have to ask you, they don't have to say, oh, I bought this TV. Can you look at it for me? It works with their inbox.
It's all automatically. So you only get a push from Tjommi when you get a refund.
I mean, it sounds like a no-brainer. You get money when...
Yeah, exactly. It's actually a fintech app that gives you money. So we do all the work for you. Because if you're like me, I can spend half a year looking for that specific television and model and specs and all that. But once I bought it, I don't really care. Then I stop following the prices. And it could go on a sale. I wouldn't know. So we actually this engine running behind, making sure that you get the best deal at everything you buy.
And it interacts with local consumer law? That's how it's set up.
Yeah, so price match varies from store to store. So I think it's Elgiganten was 50 days, and I think it's usually between 14 days and 30 days. Actually, it's nearly 50% of all e-commerce stores that has a price match guarantee across Europe. So it's actually quite big, because what they can do, the stores, they can market themselves on price, or they can do great things like price match guarantee or extended warranties and so on. So that's like the things they can hit people on.
This sounds pretty simple to set up. You get the app, you sign up, you link up with the inbox,
and then you wait.
And with Black Friday coming around,
I'm looking forward to that. So basically, everything you bought the last 2 weeks will go on a sale, right? And 50% of them having price match guarantee. That's a lot of money.
I think for brands, there's going to be mixed responses.
Yeah, there already is, but it's quite fun because the stores that really has the customer first and do the big price match guarantees and answer the customers fast on email and phones, they're like, okay, this sounds good, Jesper. Yeah, sure. This gains customer loyalty. So we can write them proactively that we refunded you. That's a good experience, instead of the example from Elgiganten Power where you discover it yourself, have to go in the store and complain a little bit, all that. You're actually proactively giving money back to your customers. Then they will come back, because they know if I buy something and it comes on a sale, this store will refund me because they're great at customer service.
Looking at it from the digital side, there's good and bad points.
Yeah.
For if you're a brand to use it, there's the good points are that you lose what I think we're seeing at the moment, especially in D2C. There's this lull period. So everybody knows everybody's going on sale in a week or two. So that what we see is lots of visits to website, lots of activity on the site, and then it stops.
Yeah.
Flat, add to baskets, it's there, and people stop.
Yeah.
Because they're waiting for that.
Put it on the wish list, right?
Yeah.
And then wait for it to go on a sale. I nailed the Zalando's way of doing it as well. Yeah. Always put it in a basket, leave it 2 weeks, then I get 10%.
Yeah. So that's where we are at the moment. But if you sign up and you work with the app, and you actually probably vocal.
We have a partnership program actually. So as an e-commerce store or brand, you can actually sign up with us, and you can actually proactively use this. So say that you partner up, then you can put Tjommi in your buying flow. So you can actually pinpoint to people, hey, don't need to look further on Price Runner. We have automatically price guarantee. So if this go on a sale with us or with the competitors, we will proactively refund you. So you don't need to look any further. You don't have to wait until Black Friday, because if this specific product, let's say Zalando, comes on a sale, we will automatically refund you. So you can buy it now, you don't have to wait. And that's a really good selling point. And these stores can actually also bid on other customers. So let's say that another brand says no to a refund. That brand can also bid on that customer and give them a gift card instead. From the customer's point of view, instead of not getting anything, they will give a gift card to maybe a competitor or something like that. So at least they got a gift card instead of nothing.
Okay. The brand themselves can say, no, we don't want to give you the money. You can send your product back.
Yeah, but nobody does that. But you can do that actually. If they don't want to refund you, we write them within the 14 days return rule, right? So they are actually, they can just return it and then buy it cheap elsewhere. But not many people do that.
No,
they're too lazy like me.
Yeah.
And I was like, too bad. But with the partnership model, then you will get a gift card instead to another store that you love.
Who will look after you and who will.
Exactly. That's also why we did a Tjommi score inside the app. So you can actually follow which of the stores are paying out the refunds and a small thing like actually just returning on the emails we send them, because some of them don't. They don't even come back on a complaint.
I mean, that's not good.
Nah,
We're not going to name and shame.
no.
But I think.
But I know who you are.
Yeah, and it's also the brand that I've tried to unsubscribe from
Yeah,
like 50 times, and I still get updates. So yeah, we know who they are. But I think that the other thing to really look at with the app is that you're not trying to kill D2C stores.
No, we're actually trying to help them. We're not this big bad app that's coming to charge them. Not at all. We're actually driving sales towards them again, and we're helping them create more customer loyalty. So if you partner up, then we say, hey, this is Elegant. We just refunded you because we got this on a sale. So this proactivity, just pushing good messages instead of you finding out yourself, it's just way better, and it creates stickiness to the brand.
Yeah.
So it's actually a great thing. If you just behave and follow your own rules, this is actually a great thing.
Yeah, as long as your pricing is good and you're not trying to screw the consumer,
Yeah.
you'll do well with it. But putting my marketing hat on and thinking about this from brand side, you could have a lot of fun with this.
And I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's super fun. I actually downloaded TikTok myself 6 months ago because we did a lot of ads on TikTok. So I basically needed to download the app now, right? Real time consumer. I actually spend more time on TikTok now than I do on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, I'm the same.
It's crazy. I'm talking to my kids, then I'm putting an earpod in, and then I listen to watch TikTok. Don't tell my wife. She doesn't listen to this, so it doesn't matter.
But it's incredible. The app itself is incredible. What is actually being produced at speed is insane. But I've noticed that you've employed a very distinctive marketing strategy with TikTok. Tell me a little bit about that.
So what we saw when we run the test, that we did some big influencers or content creators, and we did small ones. And it has, on conversions, doesn't matter. So we just buy all the small ones. As long as they are good at creating content, that's what works. If they're very outgoing, great at communicating, likable, smiling, all that basics, then it works. So what we do is that we buy all this content, and I think nearly 56% of it I actually buy, so I own the content afterwards. And then we do, so they post it on their own TikTok account, and then we do Spark ads on it. And it works extremely well, to be humble. So we actually just double down on that. And then we reuse all the content that works the best, buy more videos from them. And also, so we like clip different videos together and use that on retargeting on Facebook, and also hitting maybe more aging customer segment there. So we put our Trustpilot in there and stuff like that, and screenshots from the app. So we do it more professional on the Meta universe and also on display. But on TikTok, it's very niche, and they do all the content, and we just do the Spark ads. And I think I'm buying, it varies, but between 30 and 50 pieces of content every month at the moment, with a split mix between UK and DK.
And I think people overlook that, how impactful this content is. And like you said, you don't need a Kardashian. You just need a good content creator.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't matter. So we had like really great content creators with 500,000 followers. They didn't convert any better at all.
Do you think that's because people want to see variation? So that instead of putting your egg in one basket, people like to see, it's almost like social proof at scale. If you have 50 influencers saying how great a product is versus one who says, this is great, the one that's expensive has probably plugged 100 products this year at least. And there's this influencer fatigue versus 50 social proofed influencers.
Yeah, definitely. And also just creating this, I call surround sound effect. So you see it everywhere, and everybody's talking about it, like your neighbor's talking about it, then I must have it. So we're also trying to create this surround effect. And I think that's also one of the things that's working great, because if we look at the content and the content creator, I thought actually we found one way, like to say this really works. This is the video that this is the text they should see, and it's actually not what they said, what they did. It was actually just an influencer wearing a football shirt from I think it was Real Madrid, and the comments on that video just went crazy. So people commenting on he's a Real Madrid fan or whatever, blah blah blah. And the next 15 videos I bought, I only had like one thing they had to do, and that was wear a football shirt. And that actually worked until it didn't work anymore. Then we tried something else, and right now it's also, of course, all the trending stuff, the music, and there, all that, of course. But it's also like how they approach. So right now it's like, "Hey, you!" So being upfront with people, that works at the moment, but it constantly changes, which is also why we buy so much new content every month, and we will keep doing that. And it also varies from country to country and city to city what works the best on that. So we did not find this magic formula on TikTok that this specific content and the way they say it works, because sometimes we have a video coming out and I'm not too fond of that video. It's not super great. Maybe the video was a bit dark or something like that and not speaking clearly or something, but I needed to get it out fast, so I just approved it, and that can turn out to be the best performing video one week. So if it was only me deciding on which content to use, then I think we'll do a lot worse actually. So I like put my marketing hat aside, just like fucking push out all kind of content, and then we pick up and we try to follow up and reuse that. Maybe this video and now this, and yeah. So we test every day.
And as someone who is investing in that content, how are you, I suppose like a business, you're looking for key things when you're investing in an influencer. You're looking for the content, you're looking for the influencers network, and then the social proof that it brings to your brand.
Yeah.
But then you kind of go a step further, and it seems that you're repurposing that content and chopping it and moving it into different ad platforms.
Yeah, we're doing it that we reuse it on different other platforms as well.
And do you think that's why you've been successful on TikTok with this influencer strategy?
Yeah, I think it's definitely some of the reason. I have seen big brands like L'Oreal and stuff like that, and Zalando doing this professional video stuff. Yeah. So they're just basically reusing all the stuff they made for Facebook on TikTok, and not the other way around. So I think that has been working great, and just this with using people's faces and not this explainer video or whatever. The human mind just instantly look at another human if it's a face. And the thing about TikTok is everybody uses TikTok with sound. So you have both the sound and like you can put in text and stuff as well. So you really get a clear message out there. And you don't get that on Facebook. I don't know about you. Do you have a sound on your Facebook or Instagram?
Not unless I click.
No, sound. Exactly.
Yeah.
But when you use TikTok, you have your earbud in, right?
Yeah, you have to. But yeah. I think that's the difference, is that TikTok is an entertainment platform, and Meta and Instagram, they're social media platforms. And when you're going to TikTok, you're going to watch content and discover content. I found myself.
Yeah.
I go down some TikTok rabbit holes that end up with me buying products I didn't know I needed, and
I just bought a Christmas sweater.
Yeah.
On TikTok.
Yeah. I think I bought an air fryer after watching like every guy that was in summer shape with 6-pack abs and big muscles had an air fryer. So I said, right, I'm going to get one of those.
That's me.
Yeah. Clearly it doesn't work. But I think that's where TikTok is amazing. It's a discovery platform, and you're going there and you're so open in your mind to discover new content. Whereas when you go onto Instagram, I'm going on to see, what's my friends, what have they been up to? oh, there's an ad between my two friends, and it's like I kind of want to see what
Mm.
they're up to. Whereas TikTok, I'm way more open to what I'm consuming.
Yeah, and the videos we're doing is also Mike. A lot of them, we get them to say stuff like, "Hey, this is the app all the brands don't want you to know exists. This is a great way. You could also be they start. Hey, I just got 500 crowns. Want to know how? Stuff like that.
Some big hooks there.
Yeah, exactly. Just I need to see this. I want 500 crowns, right? So we also do that, and because there's video on, we can do that, and we can't do that on Facebook and Instagram and so on. Maybe YouTube a little bit more, of course, but yeah, TikTok is just
It's powerful, right?
yeah. But yeah, let's see. Next year there will come a new platform, and then I will be all over that, right?
Yeah, but that's it. First mover.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the reach you get there is amazing.
Yeah, and all the reasons that you've said you do TikTok for are pretty much identical to the brands where we see friction from TikTok. They list them as the reasons not to do TikToks. You know, they don't have brand control. They can't control the narrative. They can't control the visual. They want to work with big influencers who have sway because they feel they need that credibility. They don't want to chop and edit video. Like, these are exactly the same reasons that you're saying, oh my God, TikTok's amazing, this is what we do, are the reasons that people say, this is why we don't do TikTok, because it takes time and it takes effort.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. Just getting TikTokers to post a video can actually be, it sounds stupid, but it's hard work. Also because it's young people. Maybe this is a guy or girl who is goes to the gymnasium, a 19-year-old. Get them to post Wednesday at 12 without them forgetting. And then the next thing, then they send you their phone number and ask you to mobile pay them. And then you have to explain them that you're a business and you actually need the receipt. So I have actually did the receipt for a lot of influencers and said, this is what you sent me. Put in this, and this, here. So now we're going over to that. Now we're using some partners so I give them a budget and say, hey, find me 20 influencers. Otherwise I will spend my whole day doing that, just writing back and forth with influencers and keeping track on who posted, who did not in my Excel spreadsheet, all that. So
yeah,
when you go up in a scale like we have, then you have to do that. Otherwise, I might as well add a full-time employee.
Yeah, and as a business that is in growth mode, you've gone over to the UK. I saw that 30% of your customers,
38,
are now based in the UK
on an everyday basis. So all new customers right now, 40% of them are from the UK. So coming in, and this I wouldn't say it was an accident, but we actually opened up just beta testing there. We opened up at the 2nd of October, and in that month just went by. Then 38% of all new users were from the UK with a limited budget. So that was like, okay, shit. I think we'll have to move to UK then, because it really, the formula that we've been using in Denmark and Norway is performing actually better in the UK at the moment. From a founders and funding perspective, don't get me wrong, but the Nordics doesn't really matter. You have to perform in a big market, and as London is just the money capital of Europe or world, maybe, right? This is just a market that we need to conquer.
What about Germany? I mean, I've worked fashion, e-commerce, Germany. I've tried to sell jeans to women in Germany, and 60% return rates.
Yeah,
because
could imagine
the products don't fit. They can find sizes. They have the rights to returns and all sorts.
Germany. I used to work in Germany as well, and Happy was also live in Germany. I would say that COVID did a lot of good things for the Germans. Now they're actually shopping online. So that's a great thing. For a concept like Tjommi, actually, we have quite a big ask, right? So we ask permission to read your email. That's not a great fit for Germans in general. I think it would be Holland, Benelux, Spain probably as the next ones. Yeah, but yeah, of course we can't overlook Germany. But there are 82 million people there. Of course we can't. But it would probably be around Berlin.
Yeah. And as a brand that is going out, you are growing your, your business model. You need customers using the app to drive business revenue on one stream. How are you approaching that acquisition from a marketing perspective? Are you looking at new customer acquisition costs? Like how do you figure out the math behind this?
Yeah, so I have a CAC in my mind, which is like this is the max. So always trying to find new channels so I can keep my total CAC beneath that. And if I find a channel that gives a really good CAC, then I just push hard on that. So it's always this double down method that I'm using, and which I've been using in basically every company I've been in. So if you find something that works, double down, keep doubling down. And now we found one that was good. Not saying that I'm not using money on Facebook and Google and the other stuff, but it's like 10% of the budget. So right now, this is what works. This is what we do. So I actually do all the metrics, do the speaking, and I'm quite boring when it comes to that. So I'm super metrics driven, and I know that you can't attribute everything into a specific channel. So I'm also like in helicopter looking, doesn't make sense in total, and then I'm okay with maybe 10-15% of the budget being spent wrong. But as long as the profit metrics are constantly at the right place, then it's good. And then we keep pushing on that.
So as the brand evolves and as you have more users making more purchases for a longer period, can you see yourself adjusting that CAC strategy? Or
yeah, but it will be lower. So what we are working at right now is our network effect. So how we can make one user become 1.1 user, right? So this is going to be my main focus in the Nordics for the next 12 months, and then full-blown UK TikTok on the side. When we have more users in the UK, then I also know what works. So I can use Denmark as my little test ground. We have around 100K downloads in Denmark. So I can use that as my testing ground. And then it will be network effects from there. Also a lot more brand building. In general, I'm a big fan of guerrilla marketing. So I can see myself going that direction, definitely. Maybe put up some big signs right next to the entrance of a big e-commerce store. If they have a physical store, it could be fun, right?
That could be fun.
Before you go in here and then an arrow down to the headquarters, right? To the main entrance, say, remember to download Tjommi.
I think it could be effective. And the thing is that as a consumer, you don't have anything to lose by taking it.
Not at all.
I buy a TV, I don't get the money.
No, and Tjommi actually is a slang in Norwegian for buddy, for friend. So we tend to say we're your pocket friend that's helping you out.
And at a time where there's a cost of living crisis emerging globally.
Yeah, finding an app that pays you for downloading it.
Yeah.
So yeah, our timing in the market is, of course, it's good. We can't ignore that. Of course, that also has something to do with our growth. No questions.
But again, for the people, that's just a win-win. It's a product that is very consumer focused. It's acting in their best interests, and it's saying, if we can make you some money, we'll take a little cut of that money.
Yeah, exactly. So we do all the work for you, right? And I think also the point of like us being an app where you don't have to be involved in it. You download it, sign up with your email. It takes like, 30 seconds, right? And then you close it, and that's it. We don't want you to open it every day. That's not the focus from our side. We actually only want to ignore you with a push message when you get money back. That's like the whole point. So we actually also have a advantage in that. So we're not Facebook that need to sign up. Then we want you to become extremely active on it and sign in every time, a few times a day, and more times a day, all that. So we actually don't do that. Actually, the strict opposite.
So it's like the good friend. You know, you have the friend that always gets in touch when they want to borrow some money.
Yeah.
This is the friend that only gets in touch when they're going to give you some money.
Yeah. The friends always come bearing good news, right?
It's
The positive friend.
the win-win friend.
Yeah.
Jesper, thank you so much for sharing all the info about what you're doing and being really generous. I think if anyone wants to develop a TikTok strategy,
And reach out.
incredible points. Where can people find you online?
Just LinkedIn me. That would be great. And otherwise, my mail is jesper@tjommi.app. Yeah, that was fun, right?
And for people who want to find the app,
Go to App Store and write Tjommi, Tjommi.
and make sure to let us know how much money Tjommi made you over Black Friday.
Yeah, I would love to know that. I have the data though, but
It's nice to see the personal message.
yeah, I want to be tagged in every LinkedIn post on a screenshot.
Okay, and then the brands will tag you saying,
Fuck you. No.
Thank you so much.